Ladies and gentlemen, with this particular story, definitely a gut-wrenching story, but I have to give you guys the details. This story comes out of Virginia Beach. We don't talk about a lot of stories in this particular place, but Virginia's going to have to take an L. This story is just heartbreaking for so many reasons, and it actually is very similar to a lot of stories that we've talked about before, especially when it comes to moms and dads dealing with each other. We talk about depression. We also talk about this thing called custody. Family court is, I hate to say it, but family court, I'm not going to say family court is ruining people because it's really us doing it to us. Can we agree to that? I'm not going to blame it on the courts, just like when these children end up in these foster homes and CPS fails to do their checks. Yes, they need to do their jobs, and if they don't, then I understand when people feel the need to take legal action against them. But the failure starts at the foundation with the biological mothers and biological fathers. Let's talk about this beautiful angel that you see on the right-hand side of the screen. But before I do, some of y'all might not have been here before, so I got to give a disclaimer that you might find my content controversial or offensive. The information is coming from many credible sources. My commentary is about the facts of this story. If you're going to debate anything, don't debate facts. Debate my opinions if you want to debate something. The point is I'm hoping that we can prevent these tragedies going forward. Viewer discretion is advised, and that is your official disclaimer. And that is me reading my disclaimer when I need to record it. And just hit the play button sometime. But Virginia Beach, the mother, and I'm getting this information from 13newsnow.com, so thank you for the article. The mother of a toddler found dead in a Virginia Beach oceanfront hotel room. Hotel room. Bookmark that. This mother appeared in court Wednesday morning. Officials with the Office of the Commonwealth's Attorney in Virginia Beach confirmed. In court, the judge arraigned an individual. Let me see if I can get her face back up on the screen. This deranged-looking woman right here. Her name is Leandra Andrade, Andrade. I think that's how you pronounce it. There it is, name right there. They presented her with a Class 4 felony. The charge code reads, cause or permit serious injury to the life or health of such child by a willful act, omission, or refusal to provide necessary care. And one would have to ask this, because if you're looking at that picture right there, and I'm just like, damn, man, damn. What did this baby do to deserve what she got? To deserve being neglected, to deserve being mistreated by her mother, to deserve so little love that it cost her life. And I'm telling you, there is nothing this beautiful smiling angel could have done to deserve that. And I just think the selfishness is what led up to this. Now, Class 4 felonies require a sentence between 2 to 10 years in prison. 2 to 10 years. Appearing virtually at her arraignment hearing, Andrade, the mother, indicated that she will look to hire her own legal representation with the possibility of financial assistance from her family, but indicated that she might have to use a public defender for her bond hearing scheduled for Thursday. 13 News Now reached out to the Virginia Beach Sheriff's Office requesting an interview with Andrade, but she declined. That's her right to do that. Now, around 3:30 a.m. on Monday morning, the Virginia Beach Police Department responded to the 3600 block of Atlantic Avenue, and there, officers found the body of a 2-year-old girl. Obviously, that was this baby here. Found the girl and Andrade, who was having a medical emergency. 13 News Now sister station WUSA9 confirmed. I'm going to just say the news next time. That's a lot of words. I'm going to get tongue-tied. Confirmed through the Metropolitan D.C. Police Department that Andrade, the mother, fled with her 2-year-old daughter late last week after losing custody of the child. Let me read that again. She ran with the child after they went to family court and she lost in court. How many times have I told that story? One of the stories that means the most to me on this channel, I think most people know, is the Anaya Day Garrett story. If you don't know that story, make sure and Google it and look it up. I'm sure one of my videos will probably pop up. And my emotion behind that story came because I listened to the 911 call of that little girl being dead when the biological mother, Sierra Day, and her boyfriend, Deontay Lewis, called in the 911 and faked giving a dead girl CPR. And you could hear the chest compressions in the air going in and out of that dead baby's body. I'm going to tell you, it still bothers me to this day. And that was about, what, 3 years ago, maybe closer to 4, that I talked about that. And more I'm presenting stories, not of fathers murdering these babies, but of mothers who are thought of and placed on this pedestal and say that if you're a mother, you're automatically a good person. You should be praised. And people, I think, should earn the praise that they get as opposed to you just giving somebody praise that they haven't earned. I can understand to a certain extent that you want to uplift that crazy caveat word, uplifting somebody, hoping that they will continue to be good people, and that's not always the case. This mother lost custody, so here's what you would also have to ask. How and why did she lose custody? Because here's the way that this normally works. If the state decides that the biological father is more of a suitable parent than the mother, it's usually, in most cases, not all, but it's usually because the mother has been proven to be a bad, if not a terrible mother. Can we agree to that? More times than none. It's not, they're not going in on equal ground and they look at it and say, you both are equal and okay, he's doing a little bit better than you. We're going to give him custody. It's usually the mother is like on meth, or the mother is out hooking on the corner, or the mother is out leaving the kid with random people, leaving the kid at home. And, you know, the mother is dropping her kids off at the pool and then going to the club. It's usually something really, really horrific for a biological mother to lose custody of their child. Here's what you would also have to ask. And I don't know that I've ever said this, but I'm a damn sure say it now. This individual right here, how much do y'all think that this woman loved her kid if she neglected her kid so bad and lost custody that she didn't show it in her behavior? They found out in court, which means that the biological father had evidence to prove that she was a bad mother. Think about that. Unfit. Yes, thank you, Cynthia. Shout out to you. Thank you. Unfit. How much did she really love her child? So if I'm led to believe, based on her actions, that she does not love her child, then why would she flee with her child in an effort to be selfish, to hurt the biological father? Why? You clearly don't love your kid. Is that fair to say? She did not love her child. She did not love that baby. So why not let the biological father have the child, raise the child, love the child, protect the child, do what's best in her best interest, and you go about your happy life? I could almost guarantee you that he wasn't out there begging for no child support from her. He's just saying, I love my kid. I want my kid in my custody. I think I'm the better parent. Most men, if you give them an opportunity and say, here, take this kid, I don't want him, fathers will take that kid and not ask you a damn question. Somebody in the chat is asking, is this a babies for benefits situation? I'm going to say no, and let me explain why. She didn't keep this child in order to collect benefits off of that child, whether it be Section 8, food stamps, child support, or whatever the case is. That wasn't what she fled with this child for. She didn't flee with this child in order to continue benefits that she was getting. Y'all know why she fled with the child? Because her intention was to inflict damage on the child. I don't know if she meant to kill her, but I do know that she meant to inflict damage on this child in an effort to hurt the biological father. Maybe we can call that a benefit, but I don't know. Everybody with me so far? Can we agree to that? If you disagree, you could also type it in the chat and let me know. She lost her daughter in custody a week prior to this. She hadn't been seen since that Friday. Now, the news also confirmed with D.C. police officials that 2 investigators in Virginia Beach and D.C. are connected and that the deceased 2-year-old is Andre's daughter. And I think I have her name. Let me see if I can find this angel's name. Let me see. Her name is Lenoy Andre. Lenoy Andre. Beautiful name, too. Let me spell it for you. Lanoix. I hope that's how you say it. I want to put some respect on this baby's name. Is that Lenoy? Did I say that right? Lenoy Andre. While neither VBPD nor DC police have not officially released the name of the victim. Well, I just released it, so it's already out there. The father of the victim released a public statement through his legal representation. I think I might have that screenshot. That's actually a screenshot from her Facebook page. I think that's still up. But let me see if I can find the father's statement. I don't know if I have it, but I will read it to you. Give me a second. Let me see if I can find it. Right there. I am devastated that the opportunity for Lenoy to continue living a happy and loving life was senselessly taken. And the biological father's name is Fabio Andre Jr. So, man, it's just a really, really sad thing. But Fabio, the biological father, went on to say that he had been fighting tirelessly since March of this year for full physical and legal custody in order to provide my daughter the life that she deserved. The girl's cause of death is unknown and how it happened isn't apparent, but the police department is investigating this as a suspicious death. The Virginia Department of, y'all know she probably got blunt force trauma. We know how that story goes, okay? So I'm just going to assume that's what happened as of right now. But the medical examiner is conducting an autopsy of the girl and will provide a report to investigators once it is complete. DC authorities became involved with the case after a friend of Andre's contacted the department about concerning posts Andre had made on social media. So she had been posting some stuff on there. Now, I don't think I saw any of those posts, but we'll get past that for now. Shortly after, MPD determined that Andre had traveled south to Virginia Beach. MPD said that it then alerted police officers in Virginia Beach to Andre's whereabouts because she fled with the child that she no longer had custody of. So let me go ahead and give you guys the fair usage. Let's go ahead and start with our news videos. Let's get it. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. And also, let me say this, because right now we're live talking about this. Y'all do me a favor. If I'm saying something that you don't agree with, and my moderators will allow it to be typed in the chat. If you disagree with something, type it in the chat and let me know if I'm saying something that you disagree with that is not based on facts. But if y'all would do me a favor, hit that thumbs up. We want to have at least one thumb up for each person that's watching this video, okay? So share that in the memory of these babies, please. Let's get it.
Details in a story this team first brought you last night. Police say a D.C. mother is now facing charges connected to the death of this 2-year-old here. That toddler was found dead at a hotel in Virginia Beach. Our John Henry is pushing for answers. And John, you're learning more about the mother in this case. What can you tell us?
Well, Lorenzo, Virginia authorities charged D.C. mother Leandra Andrade on felony child neglect and abuse charges this morning, just 2 days after police found her 2-year-old daughter, Lenoy, dead in a Virginia Beach hotel room. Now court documents show her husband voiced concerns about her mental health months ago. D.C. resident Fabio Andrade said his daughter Lenoir loved life and making her family smile. Now he said he's devastated her life was allegedly taken from her. Lenoir's mother, Leandra Andrade, showed up for her arraignment in a Virginia Beach court Wednesday after police there called the death of her child suspicious. Just last Friday, a D.C. Superior Court judge granted Leandra's husband temporary full legal custody of their child while still allowing the pair to share joint physical custody. Court documents revealed Wednesday show that Fabio Andrade had previously suspected his wife suffered from a mental illness that impacted her ability to properly co-parent Lenoir. In March, Fabio Andrade told the court he had recently learned his wife had tried to take her life twice before they married, and that she had even once ran off to an unknown location with her daughter. In that same filing, he also claimed her personality had changed. She had become paranoid and had cut off close contact with family members.
Which is the stuff that he probably used against her in family court. And so, yes, and shout out to illicit deeds. So this probably was a murder-suicide attempt. I agree with that. That sounds like what this probably was.
The couple ultimately separated months ago, and a future court document claimed Leandra Andrade disputed most of the allegations about her mental health. But Fabio and Andrade claimed things got so bad in June that Leandra Andrade would sometimes drag out their planned handovers of Lenoir in a park to last more than 6 hours. One of her neighbors told us this on Wednesday before these court filings came to light.
She looked frail, like something was going on mentally.
Lenoir's father also said today he fought tirelessly to gain full custody and legal custody of his daughter, and that while last week's court ruling was one of several successful steps toward that goal, it did not prevent or stop the existing court-ordered custody that was scheduled to take place to allow Leandra Andrade to have their daughter last week. Lorenzo?
A sad story on so many levels. John, thank you.
But first, the mother of a toddler found dead in a Virginia Beach hotel room is in jail tonight. Good evening, I'm Tom Shad.
And I'm Maria Elena Dolores. Leandra Andrade is charged with child abuse and neglect. Her arrest comes less than 2 days after police discovered her critically ill and her daughter dead in an oceanfront hotel. The cause of the little girl's death is still under investigation. 10 on your side's Kiana Patterson has new information from court. Kiana?
Yes, the 38-year-old mom from D.C. is being held without bond. She had her first court appearance today where she asked the state to contact her family in hopes that they will help her hire an attorney. 2-year-old Lenoir Andrade found dead and her mom unconscious in a hotel room at the Virginia Beach oceanfront early Monday morning. By Tuesday afternoon, Beach police arrested and charged the child's mom, Leandra Andrade, with child neglect and abuse. We asked VBPD to provide more information on the felony charge, but they did not respond. Court documents say Leandra has her master's degree but is unemployed and her husband supports her. Last week, a custody order shows a D.C. judge granted the child's dad, Fabio Andrade Jr., temporary legal custody, but the parents still shared 50-50 physical custody. Fabio's attorney sent 10 on your side a statement that says, quote, "My daughter Lenoir loved life and loved making her friends and family smile. I am devastated that the opportunity for Lenoir to continue living a happy and loving life was senselessly taken from her." Her dad says he's been fighting for full custody of his daughter since March. He adds last week's order was a step, but it allowed Lenoir to keep a scheduled visit with her mom last weekend. A friend tipped off D.C. Metro Police after seeing concerning posts from Leandra's social media. Wavy's investigative team reviews the posts. One describes troubles in the couple's marriage that began in February of 2019. And just 2 days ago, Leandra posted pictures and a paragraph about the trip to Virginia Beach with her daughter. The post ended with, "I love you so much. I'm so sorry, baby. You deserved the world." And the family and friends of Lenoir ask for privacy at this time. At 6, we ask if Leandra will face more charges. I'll have that answer coming up. Kiana Patterson, 10 on your side.
And we are learning more about the 2-year-old girl found dead in a Virginia Beach motel this week.
Her father has identified the little girl as Lenoir Andrade. Her father sent us this picture of the toddler. Meanwhile, the mother appeared in court today in connection with the girl's death. Alex Littlehales is in the newsroom tonight. And Alex, again, what is that father saying tonight?
Nicole, David, arrest warrants show that Leandra Andrade faces a Class 4 felony charge regarding child neglect and abuse. As you mentioned, in a statement shared publicly by the 2-year-old's father, he says he is devastated that her life was senselessly taken from her. Leandra Andrade is behind bars at the Virginia Beach Correctional Center. According to arrest warrants from juvenile court, Andrade faces charges of causing or permitting serious injury to the life or health of a child by willful act or refusal to provide necessary care. Officials with the Commonwealth's Attorney's Office confirm Andrade is connected to this death investigation in Virginia Beach, where investigators found the 2-year-old dead in an oceanfront hotel room. 13 News now confirmed Andrade is also connected to a separate case in Washington, D.C. D.C. police officials say Andrade left D.C. with her child after losing a custody battle.
She loved her baby. She loved her baby. I don't know what happened for that. You know, who does really?
Aaron Holloway is Andrade's neighbor. He says he can't believe what he's learning about a family he thought he knew.
I'm in shock right now because they're great people, great couple. They were thriving.
In a statement released publicly, Andrade's husband, Fabio, says, quote, "I am devastated that the opportunity for Lenoy to continue living a happy and loving life was senselessly taken from her." He added that he has been fighting since March for full legal custody of Lenoy. A judge set a bond hearing for tomorrow morning, but today in a courtroom, Andrade noted she's looking to hire her own attorney moving forward, but that for tomorrow's hearing, she might have the assistance of a public defender.
We're still trying to figure out what exactly happened to Lenoy Andrade inside the Virginia hotel room where she was found dead. Her mother, Leandra, faces child abuse charges. According to documents, police found Leandra unconscious inside of that room. They revived her with Narcan, the drug that counteracts opioid overdoses. Now, there are a lot of new details coming out about this case. Alex Littlehales is sorting through the court documents and joins us with the very latest from Virginia Beach.
New search warrants show new details about Leandra Andrade, the D.C. mother who faces a felony child neglect charge following the death of her 2-year-old child, Lenoy. Search warrants reveal on August 1st, Virginia Beach police officers received a call about a possible suicidal person. Court documents say the 911 call came after a text message allegedly sent by the mom, Andrade, to her friend saying, quote, they would look down on them from heaven. The documents go on to say Andrade posted pictures of her daughter on her Instagram, but talked about her in the past tense. Both authorities and family confirm the victim is Andrade's daughter, 2-year-old Lenoy Andrade. The search warrants go on to say in the hotel room Monday, police officers first found Andrade unconscious. They say they used Narcan to stabilize her and found the toddler already dead. Investigators also say they found an empty pill bottle and a glass bottle with a white powder in it. D.C. police say Andrade first disappeared last week after losing a custody battle. Authorities have still not released the cause and manner of death of the 2-year-old child. I'm Alex Littlehales for WUSA 9.
Okay, so let me give you guys my closing thoughts. Okay. That might give me a little bit more clarity now that I got a chance to listen to some of the other news videos, that she probably could have drugged this baby, like gave her some type of a concoction, a drug, pills, or something that caused this child's death. But like I say, that's a mere formality at this point. You know, I just hope this baby didn't suffer to death. But nonetheless, man, it's just really sad that, you know, again, I want to make sure that I'm very clear about what I'm saying. The failure is on the biological mother and biological father. They have to work on this thing together. And I don't know where her mind and brain started to deteriorate. And at this point, I'm sure the biological father was just like, oh, crap. And now he's just in panic mode, survival mode. He's like, I got to get my daughter. And he did exactly what he was supposed to do. He did not break the law. Let me repeat. He did not break the law by saying, I'm going to violate the visitation that's already set up by the courts. And I can respect that. But it's just like, maybe we need to have a special provision. I know some states are actually looking into this, having laws in the name of children by way of saying, if you feel like your child is in danger, then you won't be charged with kidnapping your child. If you're just like, no, I'm not going to put them in the custody of this person, even though they have visitation, because I feel like they're going to present a danger to my child. And I think that needs to be more like a federal law so that we can stop punishing parents when these children are literally in situations like Anaya Day Garrett and like Lenoir, is what they're calling this baby's name. In a situation like this where the dad knew that his child was in danger and he couldn't legally stop this woman from kidnapping this child and doing whatever it is that she did. But I think 2 to 10 years is BS. Can we agree to that? 2 to 10 years is what she could be facing unless they're going to upgrade the charges. I hope that she gets a life sentence for what she did. That baby did absolutely nothing to deserve this. And if this woman was that miserable, you could exit this earth stage left. Everybody understand? Exit stage left, have a nice life, and you go off into the sunset. Don't do that to your kid. That's selfish. It's hurtful. And she had every intention of hurting the father when that baby did nothing but love her, smile for her, and behave and just be the best baby ever. That is such a beautiful girl. It breaks my heart to see this continue to happen. But I say this and I say this and I say this again, and I pray for those mothers and fathers out there. Guys, we got to start working together in order to protect our children so that they get an opportunity to grow up and become something great. Maybe we didn't do it the right way, but I hope that we will give our children an opportunity to go out into the world and become something amazing. To that beautiful baby, let me get her mama off the screen because I don't want to see her freaking face right now, but being said some bad words here in a moment. I want the bigger picture, this one. If y'all will, put a prayer hands up in the chat. Young princess, R.I.P. We thank you guys for listening to her story. The way that you can support this story is hit that thumbs up, share it, let more people come hear about this baby story, okay? Because we want to stop this thing as soon as possible, okay? Thank you. Let me go ahead and get my next story up here. If you guys are listening to the sound of my voice, we're going to talk about story number 2. So we always start with the theories. We start with the stories that are in the thumbnail. So if you've looked at that picture when you came to the channel to look at the video to see this live stream, then we're going to talk about the second one, which is going to be the one on the left, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's the one on the left. Yeah, like Beyonce to the left. So let me get that up here, which is, let me get this big old liar, L-I-A-R, on my screen, right? Look at this woman on the left-hand side. Boy, I'm going to have some ugly things to say. So y'all bear with me. Don't go flagging the channel because y'all know I go hard on people that hurt kids. So I have some opinions, some things I want to say. Don't get in your feelings. All right? So if y'all know this woman personally, then it is what it is. But let's talk about this. I might skip a couple of these news videos. But this story is coming out of Virginia as well. No freaking way. Yep. What are the odds? 2 Virginia stories in a row. Can y'all believe that? Virginia, y'all taking L just for getting 2 stories in a row. That's absolutely insane. And by the way, is Lee Hellinger still in the chat? Lee, if you're listening, I'm actually going to talk about the story that you sent me. So I do have that in our collective. So I will talk about your story coming up here in just a moment. Let me give a shout out real quick to Dominique Holmes. If you're out there listening, thank you, Dominique Holmes. And also shout out to Cynthia Miller, who is in the chat. So if you're listening, I wanted to shout you guys out. So thank you, thank you. But let's talk about this this baby and this alleged mother on the screen. Ladies and gentlemen, what are the odds that I'd be talking about 2 Virginia stories in a row? So Virginia, y'all gonna have to take an L just for that alone. That's wild that we have that much news coming out of the state with something so tragic, but this actually happened a little while ago, but we're going to give you guys a very, very big update in this story. So if you've seen this before on any other YouTuber's channel, that those who talk about these type of stories, then this is going to be a update. So before we get there, I have to give you a disclaimer because some of y'all know I'm really opinionated, but the following content, you might find it controversial or offensive. The information is coming from any credible sources, which you can actually go and look them up. My video commentary is going to have opinions about the facts of this story. The point is hopefully to encourage these things to happen at a less occurrence. Viewer discretion is advised, and that is your official disclaimer. Virginia, a Virginia woman, they didn't even refer to her as a mother, and I'm getting this from people.com. So people.com, thank you for the article. A Virginia woman was sentenced on Monday to 55 years in prison for murdering her 2-year-old son. That smiling baby boy that you see right there on the screen. Let me see if I can get a more clear photo of him. I like that one actually, but I don't want the mom on the screen. If y'all don't mind, I'm going to skip right past her grumpy, frumpy looking face. But look at this baby. I don't understand for the life of my body how you can look at a face like this, especially a face that you created, and hate this face and do evil things to a face like that. Why would you want to hurt this child? Why would you want to hurt this baby? I'm going to give you guys the details, but that still baffles me to this day. How you could just be that hateful that you physically inflict violence on a child to the point of death. It's just zero excuses for that. And I think all of those type of incidents need to come with a life sentence. A life sentence. She was sentenced to 55 years in prison. It's still not enough time. Her name is Julia Leanna Tomlin, Tomlin, 37 years old, and she pled guilty last December to second-degree murder, concealing a dead body, and felony child abuse in the 2019 death of that baby boy, 2-year-old Noah Tomlin. And he seems like a quiet baby. He seems like an innocent baby. It just makes me want to just reach through the screen and ask his mom, like, why would she do something like this? There's just no excuse for it. I don't want to hear nobody talk about, oh, well, she was suffering from mental illness, y'all. She was suffering. I don't care what she was suffering from. I don't care if she was suffering from Parkinson's disease. It is no excuse to hurt children. And anybody who would hurt a child, hurt a baby that can't speak for itself nor defend itself against the tyranny of its caretakers, I don't think they need to be in our society anymore. I don't think they need to be breathing air anymore. I don't think they need to be in our atmosphere anymore, if you ask me. Is that a fair thing to say? Is that too mean? Do people got thin skin? They get mad about what I just said? I think that's a fair thing to say. I don't care what your mental illness is. I don't care what you're suffering from. There is no excuse for hurting our innocent babies. That needs to be treated and charged to the fullest extent of the law. Can we get a hashtag no excuses? I like that. Thank you. No excuses. The boy's remains, brace yourselves, were discovered at a steam plant, STEAM, a steam plant in Hampton, Virginia. Commonwealth's attorney Anton A. Bell tells People. A medical examiner concluded that the boy died from blunt force head trauma and battered child syndrome. He was beat to death. The child, according to Bell, was beaten profusely. The child's body couldn't take it anymore. Death was a welcome friend to Noah because his body could not take it anymore. The abuse was just so profound. At Tomlin's sentencing, her 19-year-old daughter asked for the maximum sentence. Let me read that again. Her 19-year-old daughter asked for the maximum sentence. I can appreciate that standpoint, that even your own child recognizes that there can be no excuse. Hashtag No excuse. Y'all see him typing it in the chat. No excuse. My mother, Julia Tomlin, has never been fit to be a parent. Wow. Woo. Epic burn. Wow. Her own daughter said, my mother, Julia Tomlin, has never been fit to be a parent. She has only cared for herself and has never prioritized the needs for any of her children, even when she had claimed to be doing so. All of her children have been removed from her care and should never have been returned to her care. Hashtag babies for benefits. She didn't have these children because she loved them. She had these children to collect benefits off of these children, hence the 19-year-old and hence the 2-year-old. 17 years at least, or at the most I should say, 17 years difference between the age of the youngest and the oldest. That proves my theory that she knew that she was about to, depending on the age of the other children. I don't know if they're about the same age, older, younger, I don't know. But it seems like she kept having children, not because she loved them, because she wanted to continue to keep getting benefits or to continue to fund something. But she didn't do it because she loved these kids. That I can tell you. Even her own daughter is saying that. So don't get mad at me. Don't argue my words. Why don't y'all go argue with her grown adult 19-year-old legally grown daughter? How about that? Go argue with her if you don't like what I just said. I get so tired of people emailing me and trying to defend these people. What you said about them was disparaging. I don't give a damn. She killed a baby, a child. Why should I care about how I describe her badass parenting? I'm lost with that. I'm still lost to this day how people can have the audacity to email me and try to defend somebody who is currently in jail or currently being sentenced, currently going through the court, or currently doing a sentence for the death of a child. Defend them for what? Make an excuse for them for what? Hashtag no excuses. Hashtag babies for benefits. That's her. Let's keep going. Her own daughter said it. Don't get mad at me. She told the court that her late brother Noah received the worst from her. I'm assuming the worst treatment is what she was saying. In the 2 short years that he lived, he had witnessed pure hate and cruelty from the woman who was supposed to love and protect him. The boy was reported missing, and I forgot to tell y'all this part. The mom tried to say, and y'all remember how we got all of these missing kids? Can y'all name some of the missing kids that are still missing in the United States right now that were pretty big stories? Somebody has said, one of the little girls in the chat earlier, y'all shout their names out. Take every opportunity to shout these missing babies' names out. If y'all have missing children out there or you know of some, y'all remember the missing California City boys? I forget their names. Goodness. They had some very unique. Oren and Orson West. Y'all remember them? What other missing children are out there? Y'all type them in the chat. If y'all can remember them, shout them out. Summer Wells is one of them. Thank you. That's the one I was trying to remember. Still don't know where she's at. There's a reason why I'm bringing this up, and especially with the Summer Wells story. Go back and look at my channel and see what I said about that story. Well, I personally said, Cody Bixby, thank you. What I said was, it's funny how we want to go scouring the earth looking for this child. In my opinion, the person that you need to look at is the caretaker and the last people that were near by that child. I always say you look at the home. You investigate the home. You take a fine-tooth comb to the home first. Classic and sincere, thank you. Investigate the hell out of them. Where's Harmony Montgomery? Thank you. Type them in there. Type them all in there. If y'all got a hashtag, Michael Monkey Vaughn, thank you. If you got a hashtag, type them in there. Those babies deserve to hear their voices heard. And I just don't think I'm wrong, and I think this story proves it. Let me give you details and tell you why when this mother reported that her child was quote-unquote missing. Listen at this. The boy was reported missing from the mother, Tomlin's Bayside Village mobile home park trailer. Look, man, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do no snowbilly jokes today. I'm not going to do no thug Billy jokes today. I'm not going to do no hood Billy jokes today. But why in the F word are you having multiple kids, kid after kid after kid? The kids don't have a say-so. The kids don't. Thank you, Oakley Carlson. Type them in there. There you go. Thank y'all. Let's get involved. Come on, share it. Speak those babies' names. Say it loud. It's not the children's fault that they are in the trailer park. It is the mother's fault for choosing to bring those children there. It is the biological father's fault for seeing that this woman had kids, knowing that she shouldn't have had kids, and you slept with her anyway? No, ma'am. No, sir. I'm sorry, man, but look, I gotta be evil for a moment, if y'all don't mind. I gotta be evil just for a moment. This woman looks like she smells bad, man. Trailer park. I can almost guarantee you that this woman probably smells like a bucket of piss on a regular basis. She just looks dusted and disgusted, and somebody just kept plugging her and plugging and plugging and plugging. Jesus. She reported her son missing from the trailer park June 24th of 2019. Trailer park. Tomlin, like I almost want to say trailer park after everything that I say. Tomlin, trailer park Tomlin, that's what I'm going to call her. Trailer Park Tomlin allegedly claimed to police that she put her 3 young children to bed the night before, and when she woke up the following morning, Noah was gone. How many times have we heard that? Come on, AFC. How many times have we heard that BS sticks to high-held excuse? She claimed that Noah, who has autism, was abducted, but then later said that the boy hit his head and drowned in the bathtub. Oh, gosh. Another bathtub. Can y'all say it in the chat? Another bathtub story. We say that for those who might not have ever watched my channel before. We say that because that's how often we find out that these children are dead in bathtubs or killed themselves. All the time. She said he hit his head and drowned in a bathtub, so he killed himself, apparently, after she left him unattended. She said she had taken heroin. How do you have money for heroin? I thought heroin was an expensive drug. But you're living in a trailer park, but you can afford heroin? I don't know how much it costs. I thought it was expensive. Maybe it's not. I don't know. Bell said the Trailer Park Tomlin called a friend and asked to bring over cleaning supplies and to dispose of the boy's body. Trailer Park Tomlin will later confess that later that night, which was early in the morning of June 23rd, she wrapped Noah's deceased body, put the body in a diaper bag, triple bagged the box with 3 trash bags, all 3 of y'all, gave it to her friend to dispose, says Bell. Tomlin was adamant that her friend was unaware of the contents of the package. And I'm not so sure how true that is, Because maybe she's just trying to bail her friend out because her friend had helped bail her out of this situation, trying to cover it up. But I'm not so sure that they didn't know. I don't know. So maybe I better not be so accusatory of that, but I like to get everybody that's involved in this. I need to... Oh, I can't do that, can I? There we go. Got to send something off real quick. So, she tried to say that she was adamant that her friend didn't know what was going on. The friend dumped the boy's body at a dumpster across town. I think that should get you. I think that should get you at least 2 years in prison. Dumped the boy's body at a dumpster across town. Noah's remains were found days after searching. Police later discovered the boy's blood on a bed wall and a bed sheet found in the trash, according to Bell. Bell said that baby Noah's injuries were consistent with child abuse. Noah's skull, I want y'all to brace yourselves, Noah's skull had a hole in it, and it was found to be consistent with a striking instrument. The medical examiner stated the injuries were consistent with the force of someone being dropped from a multiple-story building in order to crack his head like that. Noah also had several prior injuries that were significant and severe, says Bell, including a fractured jawbone and a fractured rib cage and signs of shaken baby syndrome. Look at the baby. This is a tiny baby. Since the moment this baby was born, all he knew was violence. Isn't that something? That is a horrible existence. The medical examiner, according to Bell, said Noah's growth had been stunted. It was evident from the autopsy that he had stopped eating at some point and that it would have been consistent when a child who was in severe pain, and as a result of severe pain, it would have been too painful for him to even eat. Trailer Park Tomlin's attorney, I like saying that, Trailer Park Tomlin's attorney, Tyrone Johnson, could not be reached for comment. That sounds like a good lawyer's name for somebody coming out of a trailer park. Yeah, my lawyer's name is Tyrone Johnson. At the sentencing, Tyrone Johnson told the judge that Trailer Park Tomlin had suffered from years of mental and physical abuse by her parents and a boyfriend she had met as a teen. Isn't that the Casey Anthony story? If y'all can correct me, am I right or am I wrong about that? I know Tommy talks about that a lot. I think that's Casey Anthony. Let me know if I'm right or wrong about that. But they say if you suspect child abuse, call the Child Help National Child Abuse Hotline, 800-4CHILD or 800-422-4453 or childhelp.org. All calls are toll-free and confidential, and the hotline is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, in more than 170 languages. Let me go ahead and give you guys the fair use. It's bullcrap. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. And that was a strong baby, guys. I want y'all to know that. That baby Noah was a very strong baby. If an adult would have suffered that type of abuse, an adult would have died, and probably died a long time ago. Make sure y'all share the memory of this baby. Simple thing to do, close that chat, hit that thumbs up, share this video so that way more people can get access to it. YouTube will recommend it higher. Let's get these babies' voices heard. Let's get it.
A Hampton mother accused of murdering her 2-year-old son will learn her fate. Last year, Julia Tomlin pleaded guilty to killing her son Noah back in 2019.
Well, now she's due in court for her sentence hearing. Casey Baylor joins us live. And Casey, what's expected during today's hearing?
Well, Bethany, Julia Tomlin faces up to 55 years in prison. Now, the Hampton Commonwealth's attorney, Anton Bell, says he plans to ask the judge for the maximum sentence. The second-degree murder charge carries 5 to 40 years in prison, but the judge can add up to 15 more years for concealing a dead body and felony child neglect. Now, Tomlin has already spent the last 3 years in jail. Hampton police arrested her not long after she reported her son Noah missing. Police later found his body at the Hampton steam plant. Now, though the family will soon learn Tomlin's fate, Noah's grandfather says for him, justice is bringing back his grandson.
Justice, he can never come back. Justice would be if he was alive, but since that can't happen, I guess this is the best we got.
And Tomlin pleaded guilty to killing her son back in December of last year. The defense attorneys plan to present an argument before the judge makes a decision on her fate. Again, that hearing is set for today at 2. We're live this morning. I'm Casey Baylor for 13 News Now.
We're staying on top of breaking news. Julia Tomlin, the Hampton mother who admitted to killing her 2-year-old son, will serve 55 years behind bars. The judge sentenced her today. She reported her son Noah missing in 2019.
Almost 2 weeks later, investigators found his body at the Hampton steam plant. Allison Basil attended the sentencing today and describes the emotion inside the courtroom.
Julia Tomlin wiped away tears as a judge gave her the maximum penalty for killing her son Noah Tomlin. She will spend 55 years in prison with no time suspended.
You're supposed to be the protector as a parent, not the predator.
Today, a judge sentenced Julia Tomlin to 40 years for second-degree murder, 10 years for felony child neglect, and 5 years for concealing a body. Tomlin reported her 2-year-old son Noah missing during the summer of 2019. Almost 2 weeks later, investigators found the toddler's body at the Hampton steam plant. Inside the courtroom, the medical examiner who performed Noah's autopsy told a judge the toddler had severe skull fractures.
Medical examiner said that they were comparable to someone falling multiple stories from a building.
The medical examiner says Noah also had healed jaw and rib fractures. Tomlin's daughter also took the stand. She told the judge her mother put her and her siblings in dangerous situations countless times. She says Noah was an innocent soul taken too soon and asked the judge to give her mother the maximum penalty. Tomlin's attorney told the judge Tomlin had a rough upbringing. Bell told the judge the life she lives is, quote, nothing compared to the nightmare Noah lived.
You don't torture someone and then say, oh, I'm remorseful that I torture you. No, you're remorseful that you got caught.
In Hampton, Allison Basil, 13 News Now.
Also tonight, 55 years in prison ahead for the woman accused of killing her 2-year-old son.
A Hampton mother will spend 55 years behind bars for the death of her 2-year-old son. Julia Tomlin pleaded guilty to the murder of Noah Tomlin. Police found the boy's body at the Hampton steam plant back in 2019. 10 on your side's Amy Avery was in court today when Tomlin learned her sentence and joins us now live outside the courthouse.
Hey, Regina, we just got out of the courtroom about a half hour ago where Julia Tomlin sat in the courtroom and shed tears as she learned that she was given the maximum sentence today for the death of her 2-year-old son, Noah. She was given 40 years for second-degree murder, 5 for concealment, and 10 for abuse and neglect. Now, prosecutors say this is a case that gripped the community because of the way Noah was found. His body was put in a Pampers box inside a trash bag, then dumped at the Hampton steam plant. The medical examiner testified saying this is a case she remembers all too well, even though she examined Noah's body in the summer of 2019. She says Noah suffered a severe skull fracture that's consistent of falling multiple stories or being grabbed by the legs and being swung against a wall. She said these are injuries not sustained with normal childhood trauma. She also said the body had prior trauma. She said Noah suffered a jaw fracture and several broken ribs, but she does not believe that is from the time of his death. She believes that's from a prior incident. Commonwealth's attorney Anton Bell says death was a welcome friend for Noah because of the torture he endured in his short life.
Well, absolutely, it's heart-wrenching that he had to die, and it's heart-wrenching that he had to suffer the way he did. But at the end of the day, death was a welcome friend because this kid had went through the worst of the worst.
Now, Tomlin's attorney did not wish to comment to the media, and Tomlin also did not make a statement in front of the court today. Her daughter, though, her 19-year-old daughter, testified about what Tomlin was like as a mother before her grandparents took custody at the age of 6. We'll have more on her testimony coming up tonight.
2 days after the medical examiner confirmed police found Noah Tomlin's body, we're hearing from the young boy's family. 3 weeks ago, the toddler disappeared. Tonight, his older sister and grandparents tell us about the heartbreak no family wants to go through.
13 News Now reporter Nico Clemens was first to sit down with Tomlin's family.
Noah's already in a better place.
Tonight, Noah Tomlin's family has many unanswered questions.
An innocent life taken too soon. I mean, it's still hard to wrap my head around, but
I sat down with Noah's grandparents on his father's side and his oldest sister. They're still trying to come to grips with the toddler's death.
It's been very hard.
Unfortunately, their time spent with 2-year-old Noah was incredibly short because of family conflict. They only met him once, just a few days before his mother, Julia, reported him missing.
It was good to get to know him. He was very sweet.
Vincent Jones says it seemed Julia was back on track. The family planned to go see Noah again.
I was shocked, but the more we were looking at it, the more I knew she was involved in it somehow.
Vincent and Cindy Jones have custody of 3 of Julia's 10 kids, including Leanna, who's not only dealing with her brother's death, but...
Wow. Whoa. How many kids? Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4. Can we get a hashtag babies for benefits? Not 5, not 6, not 7, not 8, not 9. 10 kids. That should be illegal to have 10 children that you can't afford to take care of. How big are they making these trailers? I know they got some double wides. Do they got some... How do you multiply that by 10? What, they got some quadruple wides? Some octuple wides? Jesus. 10? Let me know that y'all heard me. I don't like repeating myself. Please let me know that y'all heard that they said this woman got 10 effing kids.
But the more we were looking at it, the more I knew she was involved in it somehow.
Vincent and Cindy Jones have custody of 3 of Julia's 10 kids, including Leanna and his oldest sister. Tonight, Noah Tomlin's family has many unanswered questions.
An innocent life taken too soon. I mean, it's still hard to wrap my head around, but...
I sat down with Noah's grandparents on his father's side and his oldest sister. They're still trying to come to grips with the toddler's death.
It's been very hard.
Unfortunately, their time spent with 2-year-old Noah was incredibly short because of family conflict.
Another thing that we need to talk about, why you shouldn't have a ton of kids. And I know some of y'all might think I'm crazy. Like, y'all say kids are a blessing from God. Y'all got to watch my video about that. I thought it was pretty poignant what I said. I said that children are not a blessing. Children are not a blessing. Children are a choice that consenting adults make together to create children. They're not a blessing. They are a choice that we make. And we turn around as society and try to blame these decisions on God or something. That should be a crime to have that many children. Especially when you're in the trailer park, because most people, not all, don't take no offense, but most people in the trailer park, just like most people in the hood, are in those positions because they aren't financially able to stay anywhere else. They're there because that's the choice. That's all they had. And I get it. I'm not trying to say negative things about innocent people, but what I am saying is that it is a financially cumbersome situation. I hope that's the right word. 10 kids, she should have been stopped after 2. You couldn't take care of 1.
They only met him once, just a few days before his mother, Julia, reported.
Y'all know we caught it, right? Hashtag TTO. Y'all want to tell them what TTO stands in the chat? Because see, some people are watching for the first time. They've never heard me say that. Hashtag TTO. What does that stand for? Can somebody tell them in the chat? Because that's what she needs.
Him missing.
It was good.
Long time ago.
to get to know him. He's very sweet.
Vincent Jones says it seemed Julia was back on track. The family planned to go see Noah again.
I was shocked, but the more we were looking at it, the more I knew she was involved in it somehow.
Vincent and Cindy Jones have custody of 3 of Julia's 10 kids, including Leanna, who's not only dealing with her brother's death, but her mom behind bars.
Just think about like the positive parts about the situation, like Noah's no longer suffering.
Tonight, the family is asking for better child welfare laws, so this won't happen again.
The system did fail Noah.
The system did fail Noah.
In the meantime, the family is focused on healing and remembering young Noah.
I wish I could have known him the way that I know my other grandchildren. But we will know each other sometime, someday.
I'm sorry, man. Somebody had to have known. And I can't blame the 17-year-old underage person, even though a phone call might not have hurt. But I'm not going to hold that responsibility on a legal child. That I'm not going to do. I'm an advocate for children. I'm not going to go against kids if they're living under the roof of their parents. That's not what I do. No, sorry, Bob. That's not my job. But I think that people knew that this abuse was going on because his child was only less than 24 months old. They had to have seen the abuse if they've ever laid eyes on him. For as much abuse as he endured, don't y'all think that he would have had scratches? He would have had marks. He would have had bruising. They would have seen this. For those to be grandparents, and grandparents, I'm sorry that I'm going to indict y'all on this, but I have to because I got to be real. If you are around your grandchild and your grandchild had all of that type of abuse, he had been enduring that abuse his entire life, you would have had to have seen some marks. Something, some indicators. You pick him up, he cries, he hurts. Like that's something that parents inherently know, especially grandparents, because we've been there and done that. But like I said, that part of it is speculation on my part. But nonetheless, 55 years is not going to make a difference. Life in prison really should have been the ultimate judgment. But baby Noah, that's a shame to have all of those kids. All of those kids were put in the worst position possible. But especially the youngest and the smallest, the most innocent, young Noah, young Prince. R.I.P. We got to have more advocates out there. If you see something, say something. If you know some abuse is going on, report it. You can report the stuff anonymously, but don't let a day go by. If you think something's wrong, I'd rather you say something and be wrong than to not say something and a child end up dead. That's one to grow on right there, okay? Thank you so much. Share the story. Leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think.